Hey everyone, and welcome back to Open. Our next guest is an Emmy award winning poet, actress, indigenous activist, educator, and the Nuyorican Poets Cafe's executive director. She is a Bronx living legend who has become a pillar within the Bronx arts community and now celebrating both the Nuyorican Poets Cafe and her 50th birthday while honoring her first year as executive director and her 27th year performing poetry to raise funds for the next 50 years of some groundbreaking works of poetry, music, theater, and visual arts at the Nuyorican. Well, we are here and we are all in welcoming a Nuyorican Poets Cafe's executive director, Caridad de la Luz La Bruja.
Hi, Rhina.
Ay, Dios mío. What
Thank you.
a wonderful journey.
It's been it sure is a journey, and it's hasn't been easy, but it has been so worth it. The work, laying the groundwork all these years. We've been in it together. You know more than anybody, right?
I know, and I wish we could go over all of it, right? So what I didn't mention is that how I became your sorority sister later in life. That's dope too, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
but
and you were speaking about your beginnings at the cafe and all of that good stuff. We are just so intertwined, and the Bronx is our home, and this community is just so special. So thank you for having me.
oh no, I mean, congratulations. It's our pleasure. You're kidding me? It's been our pleasure to document your journey along the way whenever we can get a hold of you, right? As we are now. But this is your first annual, right? This is your first year as executive director of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. And I just find that so admirable. Obviously, coming from the Nuyorican Poets Cafe myself, which I never share with people, that I was actually discovered at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe to be in this position.
Another one for the books. There's like we've had Basquiat in our halls. We've had like all these amazing artists, and you included it. So it really is. It's just like this portal of creativity, and it gives you know artists an opportunity to be their authentic selves and to develop and spread their wings. So it makes all the sense in the world that you started there too.
Yeah, hello, right? But really, the admiration comes from you staying there and sticking to it, and now growing into this new role of passing it forward while managing, the establishment in its entirety. And I know there's a lot of new things in development. Let's just share with everybody. I want to say happy birthday to you first, though, Mama. Woo! A big 5-0 in effect. Wepa.
Yes. 5-0.
Yeah, I like that. Now we're coding. Now we. I love it. I love it. I love it. Uh-huh.
Yeah, 50 years old, born in 1973, the same year that the Nuyorican Poets Cafe was founded. 1973 was a big year. Hip hop also began in 1973.
And right,
So,
wait. Let's not just bypass that because yes, hip hop just made 50 years, and we did mention your contribution to hip hop because you've got CDs out there from back in the day when I mean you still do it, but I'm just saying in acknowledgement of it being 50 years of hip hop, you've been a contribution as a female rapper.
thank you so much. I think that when I started doing my hip hop music and coming out as a hip hop artist, it was ahead of its time. I don't know that people were actually ready for what it was that I was doing bilingually and feminist wise and culturally, this merging of our cultures. The first Latina hip hop artist I would like to acknowledge is Hurricane G. May she rest in peace. We lost her this year, and she was a dear friend to me. And I knew of her before I knew her, and we actually got to do work together. And how we do, we collaborate, and that's what is missing. I think in the genre is like women getting together with women So I miss those days, but at the same time, that industry was rather harsh
Yeah,
for an artist like me. I didn't want to be a product. I certainly didn't want to be hypersexualized.
right.
So but poetry was the thing that allowed me to still be myself,
Got it.
and so I stuck with it. And hip hop. I still love hip hop. I still love performing. I still love writing bars. I still love teaching people how to express themselves lyrically, to music. But yeah, those were like that. Those times were like 2005,
Yeah,
early 2000s when
yeah.
I was dropping albums.
But it's all good. We just want to make sure that our audience knows that you've been immersed in like different genres as well in your development, right? And so now here you are on this role of executive director, but there's a lot of experience that comes with that, not just the administrative, right? You're coming in from that position of being in the front as well.
Now it hasn't been. Yeah, it's a different transition. Absolutely. I didn't ever really see this for myself, but when you're in it, not just to be on stage, but to help people be on stage, to help people, find their voice. It makes a leader out of you. And so I feel kind of like, Neo in the Matrix. I didn't know it was me until I
Right.
knew it was me.
I get it. I get it, but who better than you? Really. When I learned of the news, I was like, who better than you? I mean, really. The authenticity of really preserving the culture, the Nuyorican culture, which is its own culture.
it it is. It's an extension of la patria extendida, as they say, de Puerto Rico. I think New Yorkers are, I don't know, equally or more proud to be Boricua. It's like we hold Puerto Rico in this. It's a sacred place to us, and we defend it all the way from the front lines of the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens,
Yeah, don't
New York
forget
City.
Barrio too. Give me some love.
Barrio,
Because
Lower
you're
East
over there in
Side.
the LES.
It's its own borough.
Right, right. So, listen, before we run out of time, let's talk about all the upcoming wonderful ventures that are going to be occurring within the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Your birthday celebration, which is obviously going to kick off the next 50 funds. It's all exciting stuff, and I want to make sure our viewers know before we wrap up.
Well, January 21st is my birthday. It's like actually the day of, and I am going to be hosting my own toast and roast at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. And it's a fundraiser, so it's a $50 ticket, but it includes the food and the drinks and the performance. I'm gonna have a roster of people that are gonna, beloved artists that are gonna perform either works of mine or a story, something, that it's connected to me, and celebrating my life, my birthday. I really don't usually celebrate birthdays, but 50 I had to, and then to usher in the next 50 years of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. These funds are going to help us create programming, because we're going to be doing programming off-site, because we have won a grant and we are going to completely reconstruct the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. And that is going to be happening at the end of this year, as well as our 50th anniversary celebration. So all these funds are going to help towards all of those things and creating programming off-site while the location itself is being rebuilt, reconstructed. It's going to be 2 theaters, 4 floors, an elevator. It's going to be tremendous. And, it's taken a long time to get to this point. So the next 50 years are super, super important. And so if anybody wants to help, you can contribute to nuyorican.org/contribute. But I really hope that you can come on my birthday. Rena, you already know you're invited. I would love to see you there as well,
You know I'm
to
gonna be there.
celebrate,
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. We gotta celebrate each other. Absolutely.
and celebrating also, the Emmy win. I'm going to have
Oh,
Emmy
that's
with
right.
me.
I know you carrying that thing on you. You better be, cause I
Emmy,
didn't.
Emmy, are you?
Where's Emmy?
Yes, yes, yes.
Brava, 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 brava.
Thank you. Legacy of Puerto Rican poetry. That's what I won for as a script writer, and I'm so thrilled. about that. Thank you to the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. It's because of them that I did the work that actually was honored and what won. So, and I did it while I was living in Puerto Rico. It was something that I did without thinking anything other than doing this for the culture. That was the purpose. And so to even have been nominated was such an honor, but then to win, I just am just so moved and so grateful. So I want to celebrate that with all of my loved ones, on my birthday, and and help, yeah, move the Nuyorican Poets Cafe forward into the next 50 years. I want Nuyorican Poets Cafe to be world renowned. When people think of poetry in the world, I want them to think of the temple that the Nuyorican Poets Cafe is, and the way that our founders wished it to be. And so here we are,
And here you
taking
are
it.
making sure you carry that legacy forward along with your own. Brava, Caridad de la Luz, La Bruja. I'm sorry, perdóname. I mean, Emmy Award winning La Bruja.
I love you,
I
Rena.
love you too,
Thank
Mama. I
you so
love you.
much.
You're doing such
My
great
heart is
stuff. Woo.
open.
What, baby? What?
My heart is open.
Oh, I like that. Yay, my heart is open. Right back at you, sis.
Love you.
I love you too. Mwah. All right, you guys, La Bruja's 50th birthday bash is taking place at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe Saturday, January 21st, 9 p.m., located at 236 East 3rd Street. That is in Manhattan. For tickets and more, you can visit nuyorican.org. All right, stay tuned.